Hi there and welcome to Apple World. You will not accept what simply occurred at the most recent Dolton Town executive gathering, something so wild, so tumultuous that it's going to leave you totally dumbfounded. We've all knew about political show, yet what went down with City Hall leader Tiffany Henyard is on an unheard of level. So picture this: a City Hall leader directly in the center of a gathering being captured subsequent to causing total confusion and waiting be taken out forcibly. So yes, you heard that right, captured in the center of a live transmission, things raised so rapidly that the whole feed must be closed down. It's like a scene straight out of a network program, with the exception of this is reality. And it's all working out in Dolton, Illinois at his work. I try not to accept that is legitimately right. That is simply not the way districts work right presently. How about we get into it, since this story is so loaded with show that you will need to hear every single detail. So this is the way everything went down. City Hall leader Tiffany Henyard, who's no outsider to contention, had been butting heads with the town legal administrators for months. Assuming you've been following the information, you definitely know her relationship with the board has been everything except smooth. There have been consistent conflict over choices, arrangements, and pretty much all the other things. However, this most recent board meeting, it took things to an entirely different level. For a year presently, we've been detailing obvious pending by a South rural legislator named Tiffany H. However, we just knew around 50% of the story. Onlookers at the gathering portrayed the environment as tense from the very beginning. Everybody realized something was going to happen. You could feel it in the air. Individuals were anxious that legal administrators had accumulated to hold a standard gathering at the nearby Park Locale building on the grounds that, get this, the groups have gotten so large that the town corridor can't even lawfully oblige to any longer. That is the manner by which this present circumstance has become. Individuals are turning out in large numbers to witness the scene that Dolton's nearby government gatherings have transformed into. Yet City Chairman Henyard, she wasn't having it. She chose she won't carry on hostily. Not today. Once in a while we get solicitations, but rather those solicitations lead to additional inquiries. Furthermore, in some cases we don't get questions, replies to those inquiries, as it's not about misleading content. It's about ensuring the best thing rather than joining the legal administrators at the recreation area region. Henyard chose to stand her ground, meeting, yes, her own gathering back at the town lobby. It's practically similar to she needed to communicate something specific. She's the chief and she will do things as she would prefer no matter what. However, here's the thing: as it were, two legal administrators made an appearance to her little gathering, which implies there wasn't enough of them to hold a gathering legitimately. Furthermore, very much like that, she needed to drop it. Yet that is not where the story closes. Gracious no. In light of the fact that what does Henyard do next? She bounces in her vehicle, rolls over to the recreation area region building, and crashes the legal administrators meeting, which had been continuing fine and dandy without her. And this is where things get truly wild. Last month, the judge gave a brief controlling request, impeding her from making those arrangements without endorsement from legal administrators. When Henyard strolled into the room, you could feel the pressure spike. Individuals were at that point tired of her shenanigans, and her Adela appearance wasn't helping her. Some occupants even walked out on her as she made her entry. Yes, that is the secret. Much disappointment has been developing in Dolton over her authority. She took the receiver decisively, declaring, "I'm the city chairman of the town of Dolton." However, before she might get another word out, the group turned on her, booing, yelling. Individuals were not having it. And it deteriorated from that point. Barely a month ago, the adjudicator gave a brief controlling request, impeding her from making those arrangements without endorsement from legal administrator. Observers say that Henyard attempted to talk over the clamor, requesting regard, and guaranteeing that the gathering was unlawful. She needed to make some key arrangements, including another police boss, yet the group wasn't keen on listening to her, so they were excessively occupied, yelling her down, and truly it appeared like nobody was ready to pay attention to whatever she needed to say. Henrietta endured all of 7 minutes before she needed to leave the room, booed out by her own constituents. Now, assuming you think this is where things settle down, reconsider, as Henrietta stomped out of the structure. Mayhem ejected. A few reports even recommend that Henrietta was so crazy by the response that she began getting physical with one of the authorities. And that is when things truly spiraled out of control. So the police, who were currently on reserve since pressures were running high, needed to step in, and yes, that is the point at which the unbelievable occurred. City Chairman Tiffany Henyard was captured. I'm a confidential examiner. I have some prior knowledge I have from the U.S. area northern locale of Illinois. The live feed of the gathering, which had been communicating, the entire scene was suddenly cut off as Henyard was arrested. The scene was outright frenetic. Individuals in the group were shouting, some were recording it all on their telephones, and others were simply in shock watching it unfold continuously. Might you at any point envision a sitting city chairman being hauled out of her own gathering in binds? It's the sort of thing you'd anticipate in a film. Yet no, this is genuine life, people. So what precisely prompted this emotional capture? Well, to see it completely, we must make a stride back and take a gander at the master plan, since this second didn't simply appear unexpectedly. It's the zenith of months, as a matter of fact. Perhaps long stretches of strained bedlam and a rare dull disobedience from Henyard? How about we get into the back, since, trust us, it's a whopper. One way that the public authority continuously does it is to proceed to examine individuals around her. And that is what they're doing here. Tiffany Henyard has been causing waves in Dolton for a long time since she took office. Her residency has been damaged by one debate after another, whether it's conflicting with the legal administrators, overlooking legitimate requests, or making arrangements without the board's endorsement. Card has clarified that she will do things her way, and it scoured a great deal of individuals the incorrect method for saying the least take, for instance, at the point when she selected a new town director, a town lawyer, and a police boss, all without board endorsement. That is correct, she didn't actually try to get the legal administrators all right on these major choices, which is, you know how neighborhood government should work. The legal administrators weren't having it, and they took the deference to court. An adjudicator stepped in furthermore, gave a controlling request telling Henyard explicitly that she couldn't make those arrangements without the board's endorsement. However, did she tune in? Obviously not. Hello folks, this is Super City Hall Leader T. Iwaya Group's chairman and individuals regulated. Henyard has a propensity for pushing the limits, and that limiting request was simply one more line she crossed. At one point there was even discussed censoring her of court, since she just continued to disregard the lawful cycle. The moves to unite power have made her a ton of foes in Dolton, and it's not only the trust who are tired. The inhabitants have had enough to every step of the way. It seems like Henyard is more keen on clutching power than really working with the individuals she should address, and we should not fail to remember the monetary outrages tales have been twirling for some time presently about Henyard asserted abuse of public subsidies. There are murmurs of some U.S. spending, problematic citizen-supported trips, and a total absence of straightforwardness with regards to the town's funds. At one point, a report by previous Chicago City Hall leader Lori Lightfoot uncovered that Dolton's funds were in ruins, generally due to expanded spending under Henyard's watch. And if that wasn't terrible enough, the FBI has purportedly been investigating the town's funds as a component of a bigger test. Better believe it, FBI, that is the way significant things have gotten, sirs. You folks had a marvelous time on the backs of citizens. However, what do we gain from any of these outings? We don't acquire anything. So it's nothing unexpected that Henyard has been under extraordinary investigation. Her rivals have been vocal, calling her a tyrant and blaming her for destroying Dolton, and truly it's difficult to contend with them at the point when you take a gander at the realities. The rundown of charges against her simply keeps developing, and the legitimate difficulties are stacking up. So like she's strolling a tea, I sang, and one wrong action could send her crashing down. However, consider this: Henyard has consistently introduced herself as a super city hall leader. She's attempted to energize her allies, painting herself as the casualty of a bad framework. She's posted enigmatic messages via web-based entertainment, telling her supporters to remain with me, and guaranteeing that she's battling against settled-in interests. In a single late post she composed, "I really want all my black sheep to stand with me. You are in good company. If God is for us, then who can be against us?" It's practically similar to she sees herself as a legend in this story, facing a degenerate framework out to get injured. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.